tell you a story. Over the years, I've worked a sort of jobs, um, plumbing and all kind of work, construction, concrete. Once upon a time, I worked at an apartment complex as a maintenance man. It wasn't too bad. Ran across some crazy people sometimes in the apartments. And depending if you're on the long call where you're on duty day and at nighttime you're on call if something happens. Most times when anything happened at night, it was cloud toilet like 2 in the morning or something, which is kind of weird. But anyway, there was an old lady that lived there. This was up on here in Houston, up on Fondren and like West Airport. I think it was called Garden Apartments, West Garden Apartments, or Airport Garden Apartment, something like that. Anyway, there was an old lady. I think it was Miss Betty. Was it Miss Betty? Betty what? Betty. My brain's telling me it's Miss Betty. Um, I'm probably incorrect, but for the sake of the story, Miss Betty. People put tickets in, tickets in, throughout the day, middle of the night, and then we wake up in the morning. There's a maintenance tickets stuff for smoke detectors and plumbing and just random stuff that people had called in tickets throughout the night, evening, or whatever for things that were not emergencies technically. Anyway, Miss Betty had a ticket, so the front office called me to give me this ticket. I go to the front office and here's this ticket for me, Miss Betty's apartment. I can't remember, for an old lady. She was like in her 80s. She had an upstairs apartment. Don't know why, but she got around. Physically wise, she was still good. Just mentally, she wasn't all there. Anyway, so Miss Betty put this ticket in, and I read this ticket, and it says there's a possum in the apartment. I was like, okay, that's a strange one. I wouldn't put it past because I'm in the middle of Houston. We have possums, raccoons. We're the Bayou City, so random animals do live within the city. Even hogs. I mean, you have hogs right there in the city sometimes. Memorial Park has deer and hogs. So I went to her apartment, knocked on the door, and sure enough, she answered the door. I said, "Miss Betty, how you doing? Hey, I'm here to. Sure, you have a possum in your apartment." She said, "Yeah. Last night, I watched TV, and this possum come walking past, and it was wearing socks. So now my goal was to look for possum wearing socks. And at that point, when she said the possum had socks, my first thing I thought was, okay, she's more likely to dementia and some other things going on. So I searched in the closets and I searched under the bed, under the couch. I searched all kind of places, cupboards and in the dishwasher, and I couldn't find no possum, especially one wearing socks, white socks at that. So I told Miss Betty, "Hey, I can't find this possum. If it reappears, you just give the office a call immediately. I'll be here." She said, "All right." So I went out, and I would say it wasn't even a day or two later. Office called me up on the phone and said, "Hey, Miss Betty, she has this possum locked in her bedroom." So I said, "All right, let me go back there and check this possum out because I gotta see this." My first thought was maybe it's not a possum, maybe it's a cat, with a black cat with white feet or something, socks. I don't know. It's an old apartment complex, so there's no telling how animals got into the place easily. I don't know. But so I went up there. Miss Betty, get the possum? Yeah, I got that possum. Possum with socks. Yeah, socks on. It's in my bedroom right now. So I went in there, opened the bedroom, creeped into it, thinking I'm gonna see a possum that's sitting on the bed or a possum on the dresser or something. I creeped in that bedroom, shut it behind me so it can't escape. And I searched that bedroom all over the place, under the bed, behind the dressers, closet, and there was no possum in the bedroom. Much less one wearing socks. And a few weeks passed again, the same thing. Possum. She got a possum locked in, the bathroom, locked somewhere, and it's wearing socks. And it's kind of sad because when I went in there, I said, "Miss Betty, no, I can't find no possum." And she said, "Well, I'm so sorry. I know it's in there. I saw the possum myself. It's in there." So every time she called about a possum, I went and looked for it. It wasn't there. It's called dementia. So one day, all kind of ruckus happened and stuff, and she had this like a big suitcase looking thing, like a hard suitcase, um, one of the big, one of the big suitcases. The ones you can't fit on the seat overhead in an airplane. One of the big suitcases. Anyway, she is all zipped up and she tumbled that sucker down the stairs, called the office and everything, and they dispatched me to go to her apartment because she says she has this possum zipped up in a suitcase. Oh, when I got there, she was stabbing this suitcase with this, bent up old steak knife. Hi, Miss Betty. Okay, okay, stand back, Miss Betty. I don't. And my mind's always saying there ain't no possum in that thing. That's possum been locked in the bedroom, locked in the bathroom, locked in the cupboard, locked in drawers, and it's just never appeared when I got there. So I got this bag and I stood up on the end so I can zip both zippers open at the same time so I can, control opening this thing. Just in case all this time she was seeing the real possum with socks. Unzipped this suitcase and it was an empty suitcase. So I don't know what happened to Miss Betty. I worked with her for a little bit. And then the summertime came, and I wasn't certified for AC. I don't have any license for to buy butane or whatever they use nowadays. And so summertime came. The guy that was licensed, he got hired on, and they let me go. More likely, when the winter came, more likely they probably booted him and hired someone cheaper that didn't need AC certification. That's sort of how cutthroat that business was. But yeah, Miss Betty, I went up there and searched for that possum, and that just wasn't there. I'm hoping when I get old, I'm not seeing possums walking around with socks on in my house. That's my story for today. Right now I'm out there looking for something. I gotta come back because there's so much thorns and thistles and stuff in this place. I gotta have long pants and a machete. So that's all I got for today. If you guys see a possum in your house with socks, don't call me.